All right, guys. So welcome back to Dash and Chilies. So I'm just gonna make this really quick ranking video of ratings of all the Tekken games. So I'm gonna put some Tekken 8 demo gameplay up here because I've been playing with the demo a little bit because the game's gonna drop in literally like a day or two. So starting at number 9, we're gonna have Tekken 1. So the reason Tekken 1 is so low is because it's the first game in the series, but you can definitely tell it's the first game in the series. The game feels sluggish. It's not very pretty to look at. The moves are very hard to do, and I think that's more of like I wouldn't say it's my controller, or it's more of my timing, because my timing is kind of messed up in the old games. So yeah, number 9 is going to be Tekken 1. And then we have number 6, which is going to be, Tekken 6 is going to be number 8. So I've made my point clear. I'm not a fan of Tekken 6. The game looks great. It plays okay, but in my opinion, it had the disservice of coming out after Tekken 5, and it's one of the more forgetful Tekken games. Nothing's really appealing about it. You can just skip this one. The best part I remember about Tekken 6 is the scenario campaign mode. So that says something. That not even the actual gameplay was I was even invested in it. So that's number 8, and number 7 is going to be Tekken 2. Now Tekken 2 is in simplest forms. Tekken 2 is going to be just an upgraded version of Tekken, of the original. Things feel better, things look better, and every character actually has their own OST now, which is cool. But it's still like the old Tekken, so it's still sluggish a little bit. It definitely feels better than the first game, and the reason I like Tekken 2 so much is, even in the video I mentioned it, Tekken 2 was one of the first memories I've ever had, and it was me playing it in the arcade in Puerto Rico. So it's special to me, and plus the OST is a banger. So number 7 is Tekken 2. Then we have number 6, which is my personal favorite Tekken game. But I wouldn't say it's a good Tekken game, which is Tekken 4. Tekken 4, as a video game, I would say it's great. And this is my opinion. As a video game, it's great. As a Tekken game, not so much. Combos are limited. It's a little slow, and the maps kind of destroy any semblance of competitiveness, because you'll have weird elevations. So if a character is on a staircase, he's a little higher than you, and it's a little odd. So it kind of ruins the whole competitive feel of the game. So that's number 6. Now number 5, we have Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is a very, very fun video game, but it's not the most balanced thing in the world. Rage arts are rage drives, or not rage drive, not rage arts. The rage meter is insanely broken into the game. Damage is just stupid. You do so much damage, it's insane. If you're in rage, then let's say if you're Paul Phoenix and you do a Death Fist, you're most likely going to take 60% from your opponent. One thing positive I can say about Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is it's a vast improvement over Tekken 6. And I remember that game a lot more. And the pair play mode also makes the game more fun, because you can play with 4 people. And, you get weird teams. That's number 5. Number 4, we have the original Tekken Tag Tournament. Now, Tekken Tag Tournament 1 was the first PS2 game I played. And it still to this day looks great. It's a gorgeous game. But it's like the final game before Tekken started experimenting with different play styles, because Tekken 4 completely changed the whole fucking game. It doesn't even play the same. But Tekken Tag Tournament, I refer to it as Tekken 3.5, because it's basically Tekken 3 with more characters and a tag mode. That's number 4. Number 3, we have Tekken 7. Now, I struggled with the top 3 of this video, because I love all 3 of these games. They're fantastic, and they can be considered the best in any of their categories. Tekken 7, the reason it's number 3 is because I feel like the other 2 have more of an impact on the series than Tekken 7. 7's gameplay, fantastic. I don't have any complaints about it. The roster's massive. The graphics are great. And it was the first Tekken game to have like a cinematic story mode that wasn't that weird scenario campaign thing. And, you know, something big happened. Like I grew up a Heihachi and now he's dead. So now we got to figure out like, well, oh my God, what's the next game without Heihachi? Like what's going to happen? And again, Tekken 7 was the game that bonded me with my friends. And we used to play it all the time, like nonstop. Tekken 7 was always on. It was either Tekken 7 or Third Strike. It was always on. And I love this game to this day. That's number 3. Now, 1 and 2, they're indistinguishable. I can swap them out any day I feel like it. Number 2, we're going with Tekken 3. Tekken 3 blew up the PlayStation. I didn't know anybody who didn't have a copy of Tekken 3. Everybody had a copy of Tekken 3. And it might go down as the best fighting game on the PlayStation. Gorgeous game. It had so much stuff. It had modes, characters. It had so much going for it. And it came out at the right time. PlayStation needed games. And Tekken 3 was there to pick up the slack. Now, that being number 2, you obviously know what number 1 is. Tekken 5. And the reason I have Tekken 5 rated over Tekken 3 is because, very simple reason. If you play any Tekken game after Tekken 5, you're going to know how to play the game. You're going to have an advantage over everybody. And I think Maximilian said this in his video, which I completely agreed with. If you play Tekken 5, every archetype from that game has been continued forward. Because Tekken 5 is when I think of Tekken games, I think of Tekken 5. And not to mention that I think Tekken 5 has the best opening in any fighting game I've ever seen. It gets you so pumped to play the game. You're like, oh my God, like this is game, like I gotta play this right now. And it was just a great game for the time. And it's still like you can still go back to it, and things you do in Tekken 7, and then Tekken 6 and all that will work in Tekken 5. Some things won't, like some characters are missing some moves, but I guarantee you that it, like you certainly, if you do like the characters' bread and butters, they're going to work in Tekken 5 because this is the game that put Tekken on the map. This and Tekken 3. So that's how I'm going to rate them. We're going to have on the bottom, we're going to have Tekken 1, then Tekken 6, Tekken 2, Tekken 4, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, then Tekken Tag, Tekken 7, Tekken 3, and then the best, Tekken 5. And that's the video. Just wanted to throw it out there. I'm going to give my views on Tekken series and how I rated them. And I'll be honest, there's no reason to go back and play Tekken 1. Because I don't like nostalgia reasons. You can, but, you know, it's not a very fun video game in this day and age. I feel like certain games, you know, they age like fine wine. And Tekken just isn't one of them. It ages like cheese. Tekken 6, it's playable, but like you can skip it. It's not that important. Tekken 2, for the soundtrack, the soundtrack's banger. The OST is amazing. But like I said before, it still has that old funky Tekken-ness to it. It had, Tekken 4, I love that game. And I actually recommend everybody give it a try. But it's not going to be like a competitive cup of tea. Like, it's my favorite Tekken game. But as a Tekken game, like as a video game, it's fine, but as a Tekken game, like a competitive Tekken game, it's not that great. Tekken Tag Tournament 2, fun game. It's better than Tekken 6 in every way. Tekken Tag Tournament is just Tekken 3 with more characters. I would have had it at Tekken 3 spot, but it didn't have the kind of impact that Tekken 3 does. Tekken 7, fantastic gameplay, has Akuma. That's it, enough said. Tekken 3, gorgeous. By far the best fighting game on the PlayStation 1. My opinion, of course. And then number 1, Tekken 5. Best Tekken game ever made. That's wrapping up, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.